so to get to today's topic, which is QR codes, let me tell you a little bit about Jeff Gottschalk, who is the CEO of GottyCode. He's recognized as an expert in the QR code space. He has been presenting to and working with small and large businesses around the nation to develop innovative QR code solutions that drive sales. That sounds pretty good to me. He will provide today all of us with the knowledge and the tools we need to successfully use QR codes as a marketing tool in each of our businesses, whether personal business or corporate business. So put your hands together for Jeff Gottschalk. Thank you.
Thank you. How's everybody doing? Ready to learn about some QR codes? I'm hoping that I'm going to learn from you as well, because I'm really going to try and engage with you guys about ideas that you have or maybe some strategies that you're not sure of in your particular industries. So I'm going to try and really make that a big part of what we're doing. So these are just a few of some of the larger clients that we've worked with, but we really have a large spectrum of different industries that we've worked with, both on the B2B side and the B2C side. All right, so the agenda for today is we're going to talk about QR codes. Just maybe some of you out there are not exactly sure about the history of them, specifically some of the details of how they work, and some of the adoption rates about how much they're being adopted and what some of those statistics are. Talk about a little bit about the trends of the marketplace and why QR codes are kind of taking a foothold, and why you're starting to see them everywhere, and what their real value is, why use a QR code. And then I'm going to show you some concepts, some specific concepts that you can utilize a QR code with, and then go into some case studies, and then really, I'm going to really want you guys to bring up your different industries and tell me, maybe where you're using it, what you're seeing, maybe where you think you could improve it, or maybe you just don't know, and kind of do some impromptu brainstorming so we can really generate some ideas for different industries. And then we'll kind of filter into any general questions that you guys might have. So QR codes, who knows what that stands for? Quick response, exactly. And so basically, the QR code, originated from Denso Wave, which is a subsidiary of Toyota, first used as an internal tracking device. And because the QR code itself holds like up to 7,000 characters of data in terms of it's like a UPC code on steroids. Really, its makeup in terms of what it is. But in America and other countries around the world, it's developed into a marketing tool. And as a marketing tool, it's really just a gateway to a URL. It's basically a hyperlink, a way to get to a website. And the reason why it's popular is because it's a more convenient way to get to a website. It's easier to, instead of typing in a URL on your phone, scanning it and immediately be taken to where you want to go. And people find that convenient and easy. There's a free application on every smartphone, whether it's an iPhone, BlackBerry, Android, Windows 7 phone, that turns your phone into a scanner, and you simply place your phone in front of the QR code, and it takes you into a website. QR codes are free to generate very easily. You can go to websites like qrstuff.com. Just type in Google, type in free QR code generator, and you'll come up with a generator. And you can link it to any website that you want. Okay? So it's very, very easy and simple to do. So some of the adoption rates of QR codes. You can see here that they're blowing up. Last year was obviously a massive jump in terms of QR codes gaining popularity. And I'm sure how many in here have seen it on newspapers, magazines, mail that you get in your house? Right. And so it's really ubiquitous now. They're starting to become everywhere. 20,000 people a day downloading them on their phone. jumped up another 157% in Q1, just continues to climb. So why is this relevant? It's because of smartphones. I'm here today because of the surge in smartphones. 1.82 billion smartphones predicted to be sold by this year. 2.5 billion smartphones predicted by 2015. Smartphones are on pace to outnumber the amount of PCs sold by this year. So when you're talking about an important piece of marketing real estate for a marketer, smartphones are really becoming ingrained in the conversation. Social media. I think that Mark Zuckerberg didn't realize when he first started Facebook how much attention was going to go to the phone. Because 40% of people that are accessing social media are accessing from their phone. And those people that are accessing social media from their phone are accessing twice as much as the people that are not accessing from their phone. So driving social media, driving likes, driving that engagement is huge through mobile. Video. How many in here have companies or work with companies that have great video content? And how many people in here think video is important for business? Probably everybody. Exactly. And it's great. Driving video in mobile is huge. And driving QR code campaigns that include video is huge. It's a great way to help a company tell their story. So one of the things about QR codes is that how many people in here have scanned a QR code and it's gone to a website that wasn't optimized for mobile, but it was optimized for desktop? And so I think you know what I'm talking about. And so the importance now that all this attention is being brought to the phone, the importance of creating a mobile optimized, friendly version of a website that's easily accessible. Probably would agree with me that when people are looking for things on their phone, they want it quick. They want it to be easy. They're on the go. So making that as easy as possible for them is something that's important. So one of the really awesome things about QR codes is the metrics and the analytics that come with QR codes and come with what QR codes can bring to the table. And so as we all know, for the longest time, traditional marketing, has been print. Lots of print media, flyers, brochures, and that's not, in my opinion, not going away. I believe there's still value in people wanting something physical in their hand, and there's going to be opportunities where print is going to be involved. But one of the struggles that printers have had is a way to track and monetize that print spend, a way to bring metrics to that print spend, and a way to connect that print to the digital space. I went to I was on a panel in Phoenix, and I think his name is Lon Safko. He's kind of he wrote the social media Bible, and he's coming up with a new concept, and it's called tradigital, because he's combining the traditional with the digital. He's like coined this phrase, and it's like, and to me, I feel like QR codes are like the link between the traditional and the digital. It's combining those two, getting the best of both worlds. And so it's the ability to understand how much engagement people are getting with, and it doesn't just, we're going to talk about some situations where QR codes are actually being successful on websites. That's kind of a interesting concept, but they are. But I mean, but in terms of being able to bring that offline marketing to online marketing and get measurable, tangible data in terms of customer data, email addresses, phone numbers, zip codes, birthdays, things that you want to understand about your constituencies, as well as things like GPS and understand exactly to the city, to the zip code where people are scanning in from.
Did you get some of that from Pearl? You talked about the print, the Genesis, they have.
Absolutely, yeah. Pearls, pearls, from how I understand them anyways, are a great way. You've got to have the data first. I see pearls as like a follow-up mechanism because they're a way to do one-on-one marketing when you have that person's data to cater it to me. You had to get my information first. But then, yeah, I think pearls are amazing because then you're catering one-on-one to me, a personalized message to me, which is more effective. You're catering to the things that I want. So I think that this is a type of system that leads in to pearls, and that pearls are also provide, and then you get that same type of tracking and data. Totally. So talking about the importance of growing a database, and I'm kind of talking about and educating some different aspects that lead into some of the concepts I'm going to talk about in terms of how to use QR codes. And so I'm trying to build the relevance and understanding of why some of these concepts are important. So when you're looking at a company growing their database and collecting data, some people might not understand that there's actually a monetary benefit to that data. That data, a database is goldmine. It's money. And that email addresses have a monetary value to them. So this is an example that shows, let's say from a campaign, a lead capture type of campaign, that you captured 10,000 email addresses, okay? And you have your cost of a campaign. You know, let's say it's a QR code campaign plus an email marketing campaign, you know, a follow-up drip type of campaign. And we're going to take a very conservative rate here, that it's a 2% conversion rate. Obviously, that conversion rate can be higher based on how qualified the lead is, right? More qualified, the higher the conversion rate is going to be. So in this particular case, we're using a number which is a lifetime value of a customer. How much money, on average, a customer spends with you. So we're taking it at $100 as an average. So based on getting 10,000 email addresses, captured 2%, which was 200 conversions, people that turn into paying customers as a result of being captured from the lead. And multiplying that by 100, which is the lifetime value of the customer, where we get our 20 grand, which is the revenue from the campaign minus what the cost of the campaign was. And so there's other metrics where you can just look at and say, there's average statistics out there that say that an email address is worth $5 or $6. So if you had 10,000 email addresses, you multiply that by $5 or $6, it'd be 50 or 60 grand, minus whatever you spent. So those are some of the ways that you can kind of show a return on investment on what growing your database means to your organization. Maybe it's your stakeholder, your shareholders, or a boss, or somebody that you have to report to at the end of the day to say, hey, this is the type of tracking and this is the type of data that we were able to grow. Or maybe it's obviously for a customer, showing them your return on investment for their spend with you. So taking a look at the different vehicles. It's important to understand that a QR code is just a vehicle. You know, it's a great vehicle, and it's an exciting vehicle, but there are other ways to get to a website. You know, whether you're using an SMS. You know, how many people are familiar with SMS, with keywords and short codes? And so that's a great vehicle too. Text, you get a bounce back text message with a URL. You can get there that way. You know, if it's just a URL, maybe they're at their desktop. You know, maybe you did a campaign where you sent them an email and somehow they're now at their desktop. And it's going to need to be optimized for the desktop, you know, or maybe it was easier for them. So it's just a vehicle in the scheme of things. It's part of a bigger puzzle. It's, you know, I think, you know, looking at it from a holistic perspective, you know, but it's a great tool for mobile. So now that kind of leads me into some concepts that you can use for QR codes. And the majority of the concepts that I'm going to talk about, and actually the #1 usage of QR codes in a report that was just generated that is on my Facebook page. If you guys want to go to GottyCode, it would be awesome if you guys want to like us on Facebook. We will send you interesting content. So, and really, we will really try and make it worthy content. But when you're talking about, and I lost track there. The #1 reason why, #1 use of QR codes is for loyalty programs and for coupon sweepstakes type giveaway incentive programs. That's the #1 usage of QR codes right now. So you got a situation here. This is a coupon type of situation where a consumer can come, have an opportunity to win. You got your data capture, okay? And then, oh, okay. I'll get to the, I'll get to it in the case studies. But essentially, this is a situation where, hey, thanks for participating. We will notify you by email if you win, because they can win a free bag of dog food. So we've automated it so that one person is going to get an email that says that you won your free bag of dog food. Here's your coupon, manufacturer coupon, bring it into the retail store. Everybody that doesn't win the free bag of dog food is sent another type of email. So you've got a winning email and a losing email. The losing email is still peppy, of course, but it comes with a $2 off coupon, manufacturing coupon off their dog food. So either way, you're a winner. And a lot of you probably know, what can you do now with Groupon, or what can you do with Starbucks? Pardon me? You can pay before you go, I think, but you can bring in that coupon on your phone. And you don't even need to print off the coupon. So you had a situation where you entered in your information, and the coupon barcode could, like at the airport, right? Now you're seeing people there, some of the places have special check-ins where you can just scan it. So coupon is a great, can be a great concept. Yes? Yeah, that's us. Well, that's, yeah. Did you get the coupon? All right, good. Perfect, so it works.
How do you keep somebody from going back to that?
Well, we automated in the back end to ensure that you can only do it once a day for that particular campaign. Yeah, you actually can. Yeah, you can enter in again. Or you can scan the QR code over and over again. I believe that you can once a day. You can, for that particular campaign, you can try and win. Another type of situation is a sweepstakes. Okay, so this is a very simple situation where you've got a lead capture situation. And it can be converted one or two ways. And this is the first way. This would be a situation where fill out the information, gets stored in a database on the back end, and you pick the winner from the database. And you can fulfill that way. If you were fulfilling something by mail, you'd ask for their address, so you could fulfill by mail. If you're going to need to call them or text them if they won, you need to ask for that type of information. So you got your thank you page. You know, thank you, hey, you will be notified by email or by mail or however, you can fulfill it that way. Another situation, which I'm going to show you a live example of today, is a instant sweepstakes. And this is where you can kind of set an algorithm where you can find out right away on your phone whether you won or lost. And so you can pre-automate if you wanted like every 10th person to be the winner, or if you wanted the first person on Tuesday to be the winner. You can set parameters like that. You had some Vicks popcorn too? Same company. Different brand. Different dogs, different breed, yeah. The other way that you can do things is through a giveaway. And the giveaway presents itself sometimes in the form of like a free white paper or a free report or potentially PowerPoint slides or downloading a brochure or some kind of content, right? So the opportunity to pick which report you want or which PDF that you want, and then be able to, there's a lead capture. If you were, see it, scroll down right here, then there would be the email where you could have that sent to your email. Well, I'm going to get into those in the case studies. And yeah, exactly. And I know what you're saying, but I'm just trying to show what the concepts kind of are, and then I'm going to break into what's the strategy of how to implement these types of campaigns. So last concept I'll share with you before I break into those case studies is this is a situation where, refer a friend feature, where you're trying to kind of leverage the database of your existing customers. So if you're in a situation where maybe you already have the information from your customer, all the information that you want, but maybe it's a situation where you can leverage out to reach out to their customers and provide an incentive for doing so. So you got a situation here where you've got a lesser incentive and a greater incentive. Here, sign up for the email newsletter. Well, this actually turned out to be different. But so sign up for our email newsletter. We're going to give you a 10% discount on your next stay at our hotel as a result of doing so. Filling out a couple marketing questions as well. Hey, for doing so, if you share this promotion with 3 friends, we're going to give you a 25% discount. So offer them a great incentive to share with 3 of their friends and give them, those 3 friends, a gift. The other thing that you could do, though, that I think is kind of cool is that you could also just send these 3 people the campaign, the opportunity. Because then those people have the chance to send 3 people, and the whole thing has a viral kind of capability to it. So that's another concept. So, again, you're saying, where's all this data going? It's all collected in a database where people can, these are your fields, whether it's the name or the email, whatever those form fields are. And then you can just export this into a CSV, or we can do an API integration and make it seamlessly. The focus is to, this is it. This is where the money's made, right here. Okay, it's nothing, the data that you capture is nothing unless you get it into a follow-up system and you work that follow-up system. That's where your return on investment is going to be. Okay, so working on getting it into an implemented system.
So are these existing, do you provide tools to take it from a QR code to extract that data and that information?
Yeah.
Do you have those tools?
Yeah, that's what our company does.
And from those tools, you can extract that data and put it into your CRM system or whatever.
Exactly. That's right. So now we're going to break into some case studies. I got 3 case studies here. One is with Nutrisource. So this has been a year-long campaign, still running. We've got a successful user in the house. And so you can check it out if you'd like to actually scan. You can actually, if you can scan it from your seat, or you want to text source to 55678. If you want to do it just for demo purposes, if you do it, you can press stop, and it'll take you off of the list if you don't want to be a part of that. But if you just want to check it out, you can do that. So I'll give you a second if anybody's wanting to do that. Okay, I'm going to move on. Actually, that texting might not work. Did it not work? We changed, we actually, did it work? The texting, did anybody do it? It should work. It better work, actually, now that I think about it. It's like, otherwise I got to go. I got a phone call to make. Good? Yeah, it worked. It sent you a bounce back text? Yeah, that's what I meant. That's a bounce back text message. Sent you the link? Perfect. Okay. So talking about placement, talking about where the QR code is going for this company. So one of the places where this gentleman saw it was on the packaging. And it was actually right in that place where you could see it, right? Right on the kind of the butt of the packaging. So that it was strategic, so that if that package is on the shelf, you didn't need to be able to see it. So it goes on the packaging. It went on a catalog that they have. It went on POP that went in stores. This was also going, they have, as you can see, a sponsorship with the Minnesota Twins. So it went on the concourse at the Twins Stadium. And these were some of so it's on, I mean, it's on all of their packaging. Anything that's printed, that brand, is on everything, nationwide, in stores, Target. They sell into tons of, they actually don't sell into PetSmart or Petco, but they target all the small mom and pop shops. And so that's where you would see this. And so we went over that. You can see, win a free bag of dog food, and you can get your coupon. So that automated email is sent, so it was $1, not $2. I think at one point they had a $2 one. But so you can print that out and take it into the store and redeem it. So as you can see, we've captured over 10,000 email addresses so far. This goes down a long time. Yeah. So, we've had over 11,000 unique visitors. So that conversion rate of people visiting versus how many people are actually entering in their information is incredibly high. And yeah, so that's kind of how that campaign worked. This is another campaign so that was kind of a B2C consumer. This is a nonprofit example, but really it's really an event marketing example as well. But this is with the Arizona Technology Council, which every year, this is a very large organization in Arizona, very credible. They deal with all the technology companies across Arizona. They're tied into everybody, like a chamber of commerce for technology companies in Arizona. And so every year they have their Governor's Celebration of Innovation, which is a very big, fancy, black tie event where they introduce the next Bill Gates. These kids are doing unbelievable. They show they're inventing incredible things, and they give awards to all the companies and it's an awards program for the innovations of the different companies throughout the year. And so on the program that everybody was given, okay, we placed a QR code here. And we had some instructions on, if you didn't have the reader, how to download that reader if you didn't already have it in your phone, and an incentive. So the incentive was fill out a survey and the chance to win one of 3 $100 Morton's Steakhouse gift cards. So one of 3 people in the stadium, in the seating were going to instantly find out if they had won. So the incentive was good. So they came, they filled out some information. There were 4 multiple choice questions. And they were really going to find out whether they won or lost. And if they won, they could visit the Arizona Technology booth and redeem their prize. What happened was, in less than 5 minutes, we captured 150 leads and survey questions. It was amazing. The marketing person for Arizona Technology Council was ecstatic. She was on fire. She was like, wow, it worked. And so they were able to get data, and then they were able to use that data on the back end for a particular type of, it was really a real research. Those questions weren't just about questions about Arizona Technology Council. They were to help one of their partners in something that they were trying to find out from this particular database. So I mean, it was really useful stuff. So as you can see, it was a one-day event. So this next example is the last case study I'm going to show you, and this was an example of how you can utilize a QR code on an actual website, and how it had a profound, successful turnout. So Shell Hospitality, which is based out of Chicago, they are a hotel management company. They manage a lot of hotels throughout the country. And they're like a club, I mean, for discounts and deals, but they also own and run they're the marketing arm for these hotels. And so they're constantly pushing out marketing promotions to get people to go to their hotels. And so this was their Black Friday sale. So for 30 days, they do this blackout promotion. They do everything in their power possibly can to blast their database because they're doing crazy blowout deals, and they're just trying to get people in the door. So she said, I want to use a QR code. I'm going to put it on the site, and the content here is going to be exclusive to this QR code. Okay, she wanted to test this thing out. And so essentially, she was giving away a new prize every day. Every day, you could scan this QR code, scan our Black Friday QR code daily contest for a chance to win a one-night stay at a Shell Vacations Hospitality Resort. I'm pretty sure she was giving away a prize every day, but that would sound like she's giving away only one prize. I think there were smaller prizes, but that was like the grand prize. But anyways, so every day you could tune in. And so you came here, and you entered in your information. And in the back end, every day, I'm pretty sure she was picking a winner. And she would email them and say, hey, you've won our daily giveaway. And somebody at the end won a one-night free stay. So what happened is that in 30 days, and that was the thank you email, in 30 days, they captured 866 new leads and had over 1,300 visits to the campaign. And we were just like, wow. I mean, so we were very happy, and she was very happy with the results from that campaign. So I think, you know what, I'm gonna leave this as our takeaways at the end, and we can kind of go back to that. So now what I'd like to do is I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear, audience insights and brainstorming. I want to hear what you guys have to say. If there's a question that, not necessarily, I want to leave the questions for the end, but if there's a particular way that you've used it, or if you're not sure about a particular way, questions still, a particular way to use it in an industry, I'd like you to bring it up, and let's kind of talk about it and share some feedback on maybe some strategies and solutions that might work in an industry where you're maybe not sure how it applies. So, anybody? Yeah, that's a good question, but if we can leave those kind of questions for after, because that's more of a general question, but the age demographic is like from 35 to 50, 35 to 55, and it started off more women than men, but now it's kind of evening out. Yes? Sure. Right. Okay, so scheduling and just further information. Awesome.
We're printing it on a T-shirt for a local college, and it's going to have, you scan the back of the shirt, it has the list of all the events that are occurring that semester.
Awesome.
Great way to engage the students and get information
From them as well. That's perfect.
I saw a cool one. I was at a triathlon, and they gave you a T-shirt for the triathlon, and QR code was in the sleeve.
Right.
You can scan it and see your results.
Oh. Like after?
Like, well, they have chip tagging done, so as you come in, it just registers.
Oh, that's cool.
And usually you have to wait till later that day, or wait till they post
Yeah.
it on the board. But I mean, I didn't do it. I should have. I forgot.
I got to share.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. I got to share one that was probably one of the most amazing ones that I saw, and it's posted on that article on my Facebook. And you don't have to like the Facebook page to see it. You can just see the article. And essentially, there was a company that was trying to, their mission was to take their lunch sales that were struggling and bump up their lunch sales. But they thought, how can we use a QR code? And how can we create this exclusive content to the QR code to really drive attention to it and drive our sales? And what they did is they created this architectural monument of this QR code block that had it was wood and engraved into it were all the squares, and it would rotate, and only from 12 to 1 in the time that they were trying to target more sales, the shadow of the sun hit the QR code at the right time, and only from 12 to 1 was it actually possible to scan the QR code. And you could get a discount only from 12 to 1. I mean, it was mind-blowing. I was like, all right, you win. That's the best one ever. Maybe we'll hold the record. It's crazy. So you can check out the link on the article. You click one of the links. It doesn't look like a link, but it's blue. You click it, watch the video, you will be amazed. It's amazing. Yes.
As George mentioned earlier, most of these are being pushed out, and then the person takes the picture of the phone and then starts filling the information.
Sure.
But as you all pretty well imagine, you had the database going in, like in the case of direct marketing.
Uh-huh.
So the QR code takes them to a landing page on the phone, but it's pre-populated.
Uh-huh.
Then they just go to a little bit of Facebook stuff, like almost nothing, and they know the rest of it, and then you're on your Facebook page, and you can like or forward it off virally.
Sure.
It's kind of like, you talk about traditional digital, it's direct marketing to the database of your best prospects. When the QR code gets you to a Pearl, which is already populated,
Mm-hmm.
it takes you to Facebook that you can share.
Sure.
Pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Absolutely.
We're actually doing one of our clients, we're actually doing it in a voting situation.
Awesome.
We actually have something that's happening in the restaurant, and you go and you have to vote on your favorite colada that people have created. And so what you do is there's 4 to pick from, so you can be there, you can taste the colada, you can then show up an original of the 4 that you really like,
And vote.
and then vote. And,
So each colada has its own little QR code where you can go and then vote.
right. And then that's attached because two of us are working on it, 2 of us are working on it. We're doing the website side of it too, so you can also vote from the website. So we've done it.
Both.
And now we're just combining.
Perfect.
Combining the results.
It's awesome.
We do balance the needs and the nations, so we fill the vote.
Yeah. So,
They come in with their 15 emails and then I can't control that side.
Sure.
One email, one vote.
sure. Cool.
I found success using QR codes for networking events such as these, adding it to your business card.
Yep.
When you hand the card to the person, they recognize the code, but maybe not understand the technology, so you explain it to them,
Right.
help them download it right to their phone, and scan it, and mine links to my contact information.
Right.
Name, email, phone,
V card.
whatever.
Yep.
And you're automatically qualified yourself as a marketing expert right there on and you're
Definitely. Yeah, it's like a in and of itself, its functionality was also an icebreaker.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That reminded me of, I met a young fellow who's graduating from college, and he had a business card where all he had on it was his QR code, nothing else. Which I criticized. I think one side should have name and some contact
Sure.
info, but that's all he had on it. And I think he was a designer. When you scanned it, it went to his portfolio.
That's awesome. Same thing you could do like for a photographer. You could go to a portfolio, or anybody that has any type of portfolio or video montage or something like that. Wrap up? Okay, perfect. All right, so to wrap up, some of the takeaways that I hope you took from today are, you want to focus on that powerful call to action. What is that incentive? What is that reason that they are scanning the QR code? Okay, that's very important. Strategy. Where's it going to go? Where's the most strategic place, conspicuous place where somebody can easily engage with it and scan it and be successful with that? Is it a mobile optimized experience? Is it a mobile friendly experience on the back end as opposed to maybe something that's not mobile optimized? Did you analyze who the target market is and making sure that that incentive is correlated to that target market and that it's really something that fits that particular demographic? Data capture. Did you analyze the data that you're capturing? Is it the type of data that's going to be effective for you, that's going to get into the right follow-up system for you, that's going to be the right type of information that's going to help you be effective in your outreach? And are your follow-up systems in place? Okay, an email marketing campaign or a CRM or a mailing or a Pearl, or things of this nature that are going to allow you to use that data that you capture to drive, some type of positive result. So I think that's really, okay, I shouldn't have done that. Can we put it back up? I'm sorry about that. Do you know how? You just click that tools at the top. Oh, you're right. There you go. No, current slide. Perfect. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to answer any questions, but if you would like to join our email, this is exclusive for those that would like to join our email news club. We send one monthly email, okay, with great content, video testimonials, case studies, information, the latest and greatest. You will be entered immediately today to win $50 in Starbucks. So if you want to either text TBAMA to 72727 or scan the QR code, you will have that ability to do so. So I will start. Meanwhile, while you guys are doing that, I will answer any questions that you have. Yes?
What do you think about the length of the survey or the information, especially with mobile devices?
Yeah, I think the shorter the better.
Repeat the question, just so everybody.
Okay, so he asked, what do I think about the length of surveys from mobile? And I said, in terms of their willingness to fill it out. And I think you got to make it pretty short and concise. Maybe 2, 3, 4 questions. But anything longer, you're probably going to want to just grab their email address and send it to them on their desktop so they have more time to just sit there. But I think the shorter the better.
Tactically speaking, difference between Microsoft Tag and QR codes?
Sure.
Why you might use one versus the other?
Sure. Well, starting off about probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when we first started getting into this, it was like Blu-ray, DVD. We weren't sure what was going to win, and that was a huge topic. But now it's really, QR codes are dominating. I mean, I don't see Microsoft tags hardly anywhere. And so the thing about I think where they were maybe a little bit short-sighted is that they were trying to corner it, because with the Microsoft Tag reader, you have to have their reader to download that app, which I understand what they were trying to do, but again, it's the same thing. It's just it's a free app and a free. So I mean, I would use QR codes because they're much more universal, and there's much more readers that people have are going to be able to read these as opposed to a Microsoft Tag.
Why do companies decide to put QR codes on, say, highway billboards?
Great question. Yeah, exactly. That brings up a great point. And there are do's and don'ts, and when you're coming back to that strategy of where to place it. Billboards, not a great idea. Vanessa and I were driving to go. All right, I forgot about getting the Starbucks gift card, so I had to do it last second. So we were driving there, and we saw one on the side of a city bus, and we were like, oh man, that's not going to work out. I mean, unless they're parked. Then it would work out. But if they driving by, that might be difficult. Or like on the back of a car. So there are definitely places where it will work, and that's when you want to look at using an SMS piece. That'll work for the billboard. You know, Jumbotron in a sports arena. You know, which I want you to bring up that question. But there's yeah, but I mean it's the same principle as you're looking up at a billboard while you're driving. You know, there's ways to do it appropriately, or maybe have somebody in the car next to you, or get it and remember it and things of that nature. But I mean that's just an actual result of a way that somebody could actually make that happen.
Is there, you know, you see them like, for example, that size.
Uh-huh.
But then I've seen like tiny
Right.
QR codes. I mean, is there like an optimal size?
Well, the smallest a QR code can be is a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. But we had a campaign that was a sports marketing campaign that was QR code. I literally, and she was freaking out because this QR code was going on a 24-foot by 24-foot poster, which was like super expensive. And she was like, Jeff, you got to test it somehow. So I like went into like this room, and I walked in all random, like, hey, can I project a QR code on your wall? Like, sure. So I like projected it 24 feet by 24 feet. And so there was that one up at US Airways Center in Phoenix. And I mean, it can be massive. There was one in Times Square that was probably 50 feet by 50 feet. I mean, so you can really make them big.
Do you have any kind of guidelines or even regulations, kind of regulations between retailers and the vendors that sell to retail? So I'm in Best Buy.
Yep.
I'm looking at a TV, and they have a QR code.
Right.
You know, on a Samsung or whatever.
Sure.
And then if Samsung gives me a deal online, and I walk out of Best Buy because Samsung, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That was with Nutrisource and KLN Family Brands. That was one of the biggest concerns about that relationship, that vendor and distribution brick and mortar channel is, yeah, no. That's why Best Buy said, hey, we like this idea, but we're going to do it. And because if you scan that QR, so Best Buy, in case you didn't know, has a QR code next to every single product in their stores now. And when you scan it, you're taken to product information, checkout reviews, best, find locations, buy it. Everything you could possibly want to do. And they're getting so much analytics on the back end, it's unbelievable. And so, but that situation, yeah, they don't, if it's going to drive to Samsung, they're only going to want Samsung to, they're fine with them growing their email newsletter or getting a coupon, sweepstakes, or giveaway, but probably a sweepstakes is going to be the best thing, or maybe still a coupon. But outside of that, they don't want you to drive them to your website of where you can purchase the product. They want you purchasing it at the store. So that's kind of where you got to draw that barrier or that situation. Yes. Yeah.
What are the various ways that QR codes?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because this is Vanessa wants to be in sports marketing, so I said, you better ask that question. So sports marketing, there's a terrific way to utilize campaigns. And it kind of, if I go back to, a couple situations here. So this was a campaign that we did do for the Phoenix Mercury, which is the WNBA team in Arizona. Come on. Jeez, you guys are patient. Big file. All right, here we go. So this was a situation where, how can we utilize this in a situation where we've got thousands of fans? Should be an awesome opportunity to capture a lot of useful data from that type of situation, in a situation where they love sweepstakes and coupons. There's a lot of promotion going on in those types of environments. And so the first thing that we said was, our biggest goal here is we want to turn season ticket holders we want to turn single ticket game buyers into season ticket holders. That's going to be our biggest initiative. So this QR code was strategically placed on right outside of will call, right where we know single ticket buyers are. So we had that 24-foot by 24-foot banner above will call. We had foam boards all across the concourse. and we were giving away a great incentive. You could win courtside tickets for that night's game. What a perfect incentive for a newcomer to really experience the game and hopefully convert into a season ticket holder. Meanwhile, the data that we're asking for is name, email, how many games did you attend last season, are you a season ticket holder, things like this, so we can qualify some of that database for the sales guys so when they're making those calls, they're making more effective calls. So for a team in general, so we ran the instant sweepstakes here where a couple people in the stadium figured out right away on their phone whether they won or lost and then reported section 122. And then we did it the other way where we just picked them in the database on the back end and called them or texted them or emailed them to fulfill their prize. So, but in this situation where the QR code is going to go, it's going to go on programs, it's going to go on display boards around the arena, the text messaging thing can go on the Jumbotron, but then you've got that call to action. And so what I want to leave you with too is that anytime you have a situation where you're running a campaign, anytime you can get human interaction involved, we had a street team out there promoting this campaign before the game. You had the announcer 3 times during the game, hey fans, scan the QR code for da-da-da-da. And drive that call to action. And you can, imagine if you're in a football stadium and you got 70,000 fans and you got a great incentive. You can drive some serious data capture. So the other alternative is a situation where it works for radio stations. It works for anybody that's selling to advertisers, whose customers are advertisers, okay? Because you've got a situation now where what really is a marketing department of a sports team? They're a marketing agency. And they're trying to, and their customers are their sponsors, right? And they're trying to sell them marketing ideas of how to be successful in that environment. So they can say, hey, Visa, hey, Pepsi, hey, Coke, we got a great way that we can capture a bunch of data for you and leverage our database for you at our games. And hey, we can show you how many leads we can capture for you. So it becomes becomes something that they can sell to their sponsors. And that's something that they're pretty interested in too. So those are kind of some of the different dynamics. You probably can think of 1,000 other ways to promote this inside of a sports room.